If you ever dreamt of owning a new FJ Cruiser, you're screwed. They don't make it anymore. Discontinued. Haha. Too bad. Now you have to buy a Jeep. But thankfully, HPI has a venture Toyota FJ Cruiser, even in baby poop brown, that'll satisfy your need to go out, hit the trails, scale some rocks, drive down a scale town, whatever you do with scalers, run over your camera. So let's check out the review for Velocity RC Cars magazine of the FJ Cruiser. Let's talk some quick facts, because we did a little shootout with RTRs and everybody said, where was the venture, where was the venture? They didn't send us one. It wasn't in the review. But finally we got one from HPI, and we're ready to test it out, and we have the comparison of driving the other 4 or 5 trucks that we did in the shootout. First things that you're going to notice about the FJ Cruiser, awesomely scaled. So some of the other trucks may have a goofy body that's scale looking, but this one almost looks like if you popped it into full scale, you have the right size tires and everything. Body, everything, the bumpers, swing away real tailgate, which I don't know why you're doing that, putting some beer in the fake trunk there. But overall, a very, very good looking car, and we're happy just pulling it out of the box. We don't do unboxing videos because we think they're dumb, but apparently everybody on Earth watches them pull crap out of the box. We don't. HPI was late to the party just like we are in this review, but they did their homework and it came out with a pretty good looking kit. Here's the chassis. First thing you're going to notice, it has the motor up front for good weight distribution. You want the more weight in the front to help keep that nose down climbing. You can look at the transmission, center transmission. Obviously in the center I just said it, but that's dead center, and that means equal length drive shafts, which we're a big fan of, because if you realize and have seen phase and drive lines out of phase, you want equal length just so the power is being directed equally to the front and rear and not getting crazy and putting more torque one direction. So the chassis is good. I was going to cry. I stay at my feet when I opened the box because it looked like it only took round packs. Guess what? Those little round bear hug straps there that hold the little round packs come off. So, they use square packs. So anybody that cries that there are round LiPo packs, for God's sake, we only use square ones here. It's like saying you have a Euro plug. Yeah, you can plug it into a wall, but we use the right plugs here. So we're in the U.S. We use square packs. Get used to it. Talk a little bit about some performance before we get back to the chassis bits. RTR electronics, I always complain about these. It's a fact. They don't come with the best stuff. The servo on this kit was pretty weak. There's several times in this video, you might not be able to see it, but the servo wouldn't turn the wheels at a static against a rock. Not the worst electronics, they still work, and if you put a LiPo in there, they're going to get a little more kick, a little more oomph. They'll work out a little bit, get bigger muscles. But overall, it's a great starter point, and that's cool. You don't have to be upset. It's ready to run. You will get better gear after you go, hey, my wheels don't turn when I want them to, and realize that servo is in control of a lot of handling. So getting back to the chassis. The transfer cases, they're calling it a center transmission. You got metal yokes on the front and back, and a slipper slider set up in the front, and a dog bone in the rear. Metal, so all metal transmission, so you got a lot of good stuff in the middle. Crawler spec ESC, metal pumpkin, which doesn't have a low height. It's pretty tucked in there, so you get a little bit better ground clearance, and some metal yokes there to hold the suspension on. 3-link. Steering is behind the axle, so it's not dumb. So when you turn, you're not having the steering link in front, so it hits. Here's the rear pumpkin again. Standard stuff, metal gears, lock stuff, so it's good for crawling, good setup. Battery box in the rear. All that fun stuff. There's one weird spot there where I opened the box and I had a blonde person with hair moment. I don't have any much hair anymore. But the wheel nuts are hidden behind plastic lugs. So if you're staring at it going, what the F branch is that supposed to be? You pull them off, or you actually unscrew them to get to the lug nuts. So a little trick I learned from staring at it like an idiot. I did my testing at a creek bed, riverbed, I guess you'd call this a river in California because we have water in it. It rained a lot, so there's actually water, and it's usually dry. But I would call this a beginner, maybe medium course, because there were some tougher sections, but really nothing technical where it's crazy insane. This is a ready to run. It's not a competition rig, although it can perform. Tires were a little bit stiff in my opinion. When they were wet, it lost some grip, obviously. Everybody will when you have wet feet and will slip and fall. But overall, I felt that the ESC was pretty smooth. There's a couple spots where you look like I have a brain aneurysm and I short out, but that's really just that initial stall spot where it starts to pick up a little faster than you were trying to intend it. But to try to get scale wheel speed, the ESC did a good job. I used a 6-cell pack. I had a LiPo on deck, but I didn't need to use it because it didn't die. I ran like 15-20 minutes and still had plenty of charge in the pack. The articulation was decent. I'm sure there's plenty of tips to get it a little bit tuned up and a little bit softer to roll over the rocks and a little higher. But overall, out of the box, it felt pretty decent. You will hear the body hit all the time, which was super freaking annoying. You're probably going to have to trim the back wheel well of the front, so when the wheels turn it doesn't make that annoying sound, because I wanted to kick it into the river. It's not really a dislike, it's just, you know, full articulation and turn, you was going rap rap rap. Annoying, but that's the worst part of the truck. We can live with it. Baby poop brown looked good on the trails. I would have preferred the color just to stand out because it almost looked like they painted it matching our native background here. Through the water, this truck is supposed to be waterproof. I am not going to run it under water because waterproof doesn't mean you ruin all your bearings and start rusting the inside. You can, but just remember, if you're going to start going deep in the water, you're going to want to take it apart, clean it out, and get the water out. Spray some WD-40, re-grease stuff, because eventually it's going to cause some issues. I'm going to lay some numbers down. It looks like I did my research and I'm not just babbling in front of an iPad. That's really what I'm doing. But the approach angle is 55 degrees according to HPI. Pretty good. That really depends on the... I've driven other ones with the bumper sticking out super far and dumb. This is a nice tight bumper. The departure angle is less at 45.10. You got a big dumb tire on the back. Obviously, if you want to get a little bit more angle, you could take that tire off or change the body if you're not a huge Toyota fan. But because there's a lot of options for bodies for this to customize it to your liking, because that's what this class is all about. It's all about customization, putting beer kegs, shovels, grills, doing whatever, drivers, interior detailing. That's half the fun of this, as always, with a scale truck. So you saw right there the approach and departure angle. I was going to say descent, but pretty decent, and some articulation. Rock sliders on the side. This does have a built-in slipper clutch. I didn't adjust it, and I didn't check if it was actually slipping out of the box. It would probably be a good idea, if this is your kit, to make sure that if it's all four wheels are locked, that you do hear that slipper activate so you can save your gears, because eventually if you put enough power in it, you can break some gears and some axles. So while that seems cool, it does cost you money. So be smart. So we'll get into a little bit of the value of the truck. Comes in, I looked online, the cheapest you're going to get it is $350. Pay at your local hobby shop, pay $400, keep them in business. We're a hobby, we're a community. If you start cheaping everybody out, you're going to be, we're just going to be Amazon drones. So go to your hobby shop, pay a little bit more, it's worth it. But at $350, $400, you get a very detailed body. You get a chassis with a lot of kit spec to it. You know, there's still a lot of customization that can happen. The metal parts are cast metal, and you can upgrade to fancier machined and light and stuff and add weights. So there's still a lot of things to do. The body is pretty good looking. I like it. Not an FJ Cruiser fan 100%. I like a Jeep, but you know, there's a huge community based around that truck, and they're worth a shit ton of money still if you're buying a new one. So this may be the cheapest way to get an FJ. So you get a decent kit. I like it. The full review is going to be an issue. You got to think about this. 36, Velocity RC Cars magazine. When you're watching this video, realize we do a magazine. It pops up on your iPad, your phone. You can read about it a little in depth. You don't have to watch a video and forget stuff. It has words. It teaches you how to read, which is important in life because sometimes you're going to have to read. I am reading nothing right now, but you can read and be smarter. So issue 36. Click a like on this. Share it. Show your mom. Show your wife. Show your girlfriend. Show your kids. Go to Facebook. Do the same. And spend $10 and subscribe to the magazine so we can keep putting out this dumb video and dumb book, magazine that we make. I'm kidding. It's really awesome. It's the best value on earth. So do it. I'll stop babbling. Get out. Crawl. Race. Drive.